Welcome to our latest webcast. Key areas we'll be covering off in this session will be around the demand this crisis put on contact centers, purely from the large number of engagements with customers, and also the sudden need to now support home workers where contact center agents are needing to work remotely during this crisis. So today I'm joined by a special guest, Dan Schlenzig, who is Cisco's contact center lead for UK and Ireland, and I'd like to welcome you down. Appreciate you taking the time to speak with us and to discuss some of what you're seeing out there in the industry and how kind of Cisco are helping customers during this difficult time. I suppose just in terms of kicking off, would you mind just kind of sharing what you're seeing in regards to the demand on contact centers with unprecedented call volumes and other ways in which organizations are engaging with customers, and then obviously the point around being able to enable that home working contact center agent?
Sure. So thank you, Iqbal, for having me on this podcast today. Yeah, it's definitely been crazy times. Just over the last month or so, we've enabled 50,000 contact center agents to work from home, in addition to all the normal contact center agents we have out in the marketplace. So it's been a massive utilization on all our platforms globally, which has obviously been a challenge for everybody, but I think we've managed to rise to the challenge very well. But the sort of challenges we've had from a lot of our customers. So let's take a normal Cisco customer, right? So we've got 25,000 odd customers out there on our premise platforms. They clearly have challenges around extending that to the home environment. So be that if you use things like a mobile agent, you need to increase your SIP trunks, for example, to extend that to your home workers. Or if you're using a soft phone from from an enterprise, then you need to look at things like VPN as an example. You need to look at things like bandwidth for the home workers. So there's lots of things you have to think about to ensure that you can get the quality of voice to the agent's home. Because what you don't want to do is have an impact on the customer experience. So if you can't do it properly, there's not much point in doing it. And that's been a really big challenge for a lot of customers out there. So at Cisco, we've like I mentioned, we've enabled a lot of customers to extend their current solutions to home workers. A lot of work has got in from all the teams, actually. The networking team around VPN concentrators, and the collaboration team about extending things like expressway licenses. A lot of this stuff we've done free, which is great to be able to do that and help the customers out who are in crisis mode.
Lockdown initially happened, it was a case of ensuring that the infrastructure was ready to cope with this demand on technology. VPN is definitely one of them. We've certainly seen our customers take advantage of the free offer from Cisco around those AnyConnect licenses. First of all, from just being able to connect to your environment, and then comes everything else. Capacity, making sure you're able to cope with, as you said, the SIP traffic, and I guess the last part, which is the most important part, is how do we get this agent sat at home, connected, and deliver a great service to their customers? Because we were before we logged onto this, we were having issues with our home internet because we've got our kids on Netflix or Google Classroom. So that naturally has an impact on the kind of service that we're contact centers are having to deliver. So I guess how can customers absolutely guarantee the delivery of that call between the customers and the contact center?
Yeah, so some examples of customers where they haven't been able to just extend their enterprise telephony, enterprise contact center, we've had to take different steps. And actually, we launched our WebEx contact center, which is our contact center service platform early on this year. And actually, the timing has been fantastic, because what's enabled us to do is to stand up contact centers very, very quickly. So we developed a fast start program at the beginning of COVID, which allowed us to scale from 1 to 1,000 agents in 5 days. So a customer will say to me, look, Daniel, we need to bring 400 agents home. We need it done like yesterday. What can you do for us? So, and by the way, these people, our agents, they live in rural areas. They live in areas where, like you and me, Iqbal, where you've got kids downstairs on Netflix, so broadband's an issue. So we had to come up with a different solution for that. So the fast start offer is an over-the-top play. So what that basically means is we're using PSTN. So a person, an agent would be in their home office or home living room, wherever they can be, log into a web portal, they put in their phone number. That could be their mobile phone number. That could be their landline. And then the WebEx contact center will ring that device, and that will then pin up the connection for the contact center agent to be connected to the core system. Yes, from a telco side or from the enterprise side, we'd forward the main ACD number to WebEx contact center, at which point we would handle all the call routing and forward that call to the agent wherever they may be in the world on whichever connection they may have. And the great thing about that solution is that you haven't then got to worry about voice quality. Of course, you need a good mobile signal or a landline, but those are most people have those. But it means we haven't got to worry about VoIP quality, for example. And that seems to have gone really, really well. We have a lot of customers taking up that offer. We've done a lot of work for the emergency services. So one of the large emergency services in the UK, we spun up a 1,000-seat contact center in 5 days. That was amazing. And that's running now today. And we have 7,000 named users on that platform, and we may have to extend it beyond the 1,000 as well, the concurrent. So really is testament to how this platform has scaled very, very quickly to handle a huge influx of customers.
So that's a great story. I mean, anything we can do to help during this crisis, and we're, seeing examples like that having a direct benefit in being able to support the NHS and being able to support patients and everything else is a great story, and it's testament to the good work that Cisco are doing, and we're very much seeing the same, where we have a bunch of customers who have kind of traditional on-prem, doing a great job, churning away, absolutely reliable, but times have changed now. We're finding that many organizations extending they're having to increase the number of people within their contact center, and that means other people in the organizations are having to play that role as a contact center agent, and that's where the WebEx contact center offer that we've gone to market with, where we're helping customers quickly extend that contact center capability to anybody in an organization, as long as they have an access to, as you say, a mobile or a landline, and then we're able to guarantee that the quality of that call a lot better than what we can over a VoIP call onto somebody's home internet. And that's certainly some of the challenges we've seen with some of our on-prem customers who are using things like VPN, and VPN's not great for audio anyway, or even using the expressways, that it's been an inconsistent experience, and that's largely not because of the technology, but because of the unreliability of home broadband. I'm always having issues with my BT internet at home. I don't know about you, Dan, but yesterday I was on video calls. I was doing a customer workshop and it dropped off twice, and it's really frustrating because we haven't got business quality broadband at home, so you can't run a business where it's B2C. You need to always be available, and that's certainly the advice that I'm giving to our customers, and they're definitely using this as a way to leverage. And another point I would say about the WebEx contact center offer is, in the short term, during this crisis, there's only a 3-month commitment. You guys can, we can get customers onboarded, get them working, get their home workers working, and then whilst we, whilst we get through this period, there's a chance for us to review and have a look at the longer term and understand, what does the future hold? Are we now expecting more home workers? And Dan, I know you've got some stats around this, and whether that now needs to be looked at, and there's now a chance to review the technology, just to make sure that we're doing things better and that we're ready for the next pandemic, or actually what the next normal looks like, is where most of us will be working from home, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So Gartner released a survey early on this month, I've spoken to hundreds of CFOs about what the plans are for the new future, if you will, and 25% of them say that they'll have 10% of their staff working permanently from home. I've spoken to some of my customers who are very adverse to having home workers, and they've now told me that they're going to permanently have half their contact center working from home. And what they've found, actually, because as you know, contact centers are quite what's the word I'm looking for? You can monitor what's happening in a contact center, right? You know, the call recording, you've got screen recording, you can check quality and all those kind of things. It's quite a controlled environment, which generally isn't the case for most home working employees. But still, there's been hesitation to have people work from home. But actually, what they've found now is productivity has gone up. The agents are happier. They can give people flexibility around their work-life balance. So they're now seen as a way to increase their talent pool as well. I've spoken to a couple of recruitment agencies, and they've been told that they're being asked to change the profile of the agent they interview to have them as a working from home contract. So it's going to be a massive change after this. I don't think we're ever going to go back now to having 100% of your staff working in a contact center in a big building somewhere. There's going to be people, the gig economy. It's going to be people working remotely from home, maybe just doing part-time and just being on their home computers. And now the technology is there. I think this has proven it in the last few months that this can actually work and work really well.
Yeah, no, it's funny. My first job when I was at university was working in a contact center, and this was some 20 years ago now. But it was very much a controlled environment in that you had the supervisor sat there watching everybody, monitoring everybody. But it was all on the physical level. And to be honest, I don't think that's changed much over the years. It's very much like that. It's that kind of environment where you've got the agents kind of sat next to each other in a very cramped environment, trying to get as many people in a small office. And that's still very typical of what contact center looks like. And a lot of that is because of the amount of scrutiny that's on being able to deliver the best possible customer service. And that's what, and I guess that's the biggest thing in terms of the leaders that I'm speaking to, the kind of CIOs or those that are leading a contact center have been more concerned about how do we actually keep track of what's going on. Are people answering calls on time? Is the quality of what's being delivered to the end customer still there? That's still up for debate. I've spoken to a few customers who, because they've just had to get people working from home, they've simply just forwarded the main number to people's mobiles, just as an example. And whilst it kind of the mobile line, they've got no idea what's going on. Once that call's been redirected, they don't know whether that call's being delivered to a voicemail in the end, or in fact, the person who's taken that call has provided the right level of advice and service, and let alone compliance being applied. So those are the customers that we're kind of trying to help right now. Technology is there now to be able to do all of the monitoring, real-time reports. You've got the historical reports and everything to make sure that you're able to manage the quality side of things. So could you just talk through some of those key benefits in regards to WebEx Contact Center and how that platform can help some of our customers ensure that they can maintain that quality?
I mean, the great thing is call recording is built in. So it's not even an additional extra. So every single agent's call is recorded. We also store that data for free for the first 30 days. And then allow you to archive that off into whichever data store you prefer to have afterwards, or of course we can store it for you for longer. But then of course you have the add-ons on top of that. So all the workforce optimization suite. So all the workforce management can be enabled for your scheduling. There's of course the quality management piece for KPIs and quality. And then we have the voice analytics piece. And the analytics piece is not just your desktop analytics, it does voice analytics as well, sentiment analysis, and all those kind of things as well. They're just all bundled into the solution. I mean, that's one thing that's different with WebEx Contact Center to the other Cisco solutions we have in our portfolio. This is an all-in-one. So it's native cloud offering, microservices, global instance. We have instances in EMEA, North America, and APAC. Right? So it's a global solution. So we have some customers who have to enable this globally to do follow the sun. And we've enabled all these WMO features as well, the QM features on top of that, to give you that full visibility into what's happening.
Perfect. Yeah, and it is very feature rich, and as you say, all things are bundled in. When traditionally you have to go to providers and source those services separately, then tie those things together. It's been an absolute nightmare for many customers to bring these things together now, actually for a single fixed cost. And I suppose just kind of in terms of just finishing off, from in terms of how Cisilion can support our customers with this particular proposition is, as Dan mentioned, we can get most customers up and running in 5 working days. With simple kind of call queues, and have as many agents that need to be enabled and trained, virtually trained to ensure that they're ready to go and start using the service. And then we can continue to evolve that. But ultimately, it's a simple price to pay. It is an OPEX model. There isn't anything that you need to pay up front as such. We just need to work out the cost per agent for they come in 2 flavors. You have the standard agent license, which gives you all of the voice capability, and then the premium, which is more for supervisors, for some advanced functionality, and that's something again we're helping. Yeah,
and again, strategically for customers, they may be on other Cisco solutions on-prem. We're giving them a path to move as well to the cloud. So if you have a UCCX or UCC on-prem, we've actually made that migration really, really easy for you. So there are risk-free migration paths, as well as commercial models, which actually make it really, really attractive to move from one solution to another one. So that's another one we're seeing at the moment. Is customers who've taken us up on the fast start offer are now thinking, well, actually, this is working really, really well. We were going to do an upgrade of our on-prem in the summer. Actually, we're going to just move all these agents onto the cloud platform and have that be the platform from now on. Because things like Evergreen, haven't got to worry about upgrades anymore. That is a big deal nowadays. That's what people want. You want to be able to be agile, want to take on new features as and when we bring them out. Well, full cloud delivered applications, which are now available within WebEx Contact Center immediately, right? So we're able to integrate these new acquisitions and other innovations coming from Cisco very, very quickly and give them to our customers to start consuming in their business.
Absolutely, and it'll kind of continue to evolve. And you made a great point there. Actually, there are a lot of customers that are still enjoying the benefits of the on-prem Cisco architecture, around UCCX and UCCE, and they can continue to do that for as long as possible. But there will come a time, no doubt, where pretty much every CTO, CIO has a cloud first, not cloud only, but certainly cloud first where possible. And with cloud contact center pretty much being blown up with lots of vendors now, being able to offer this, it's great that Cisco have made the right acquisitions to be able to deliver pretty much all of these services from the cloud now, and that's only good. And we're not forgetting about the on-prem. And that's the on-premise customers, because they do have that path into being able to migrate their licenses and not actually lose that investment, because that's ultimately what happens. Most on-prem customers have to pretty much disregard that investment and then reinvest in the cloud. But Cisco do have a great offer. They offer this flex agreement, which allows you to credit the investment that you have already in your licenses to be able to migrate to the cloud. And again, that's something Cisilion can help customers.
It's a good point there. You went about the hybrid. A lot of customers aren't ready to go all in on cloud. So what we've done actually with the latest release of UCCX and UCC on-prem is there's a cloud connector, right? So even though it's a premise solution, it can take on cloud-like features. So the cloud connector will hook into new acquisitions like Cloud Cherry, which is now WebEx Experience Management, Voicea, and all the other cloud applications we brought to market. Customer Journey Analyzer. These are cloud-only solutions, but they're now available to our on-premise customers through this cloud connector. And that's quite unique, right? So, when you come to Cisco, we're not just going to say, look, you must go to the cloud, because, we can look at the business and what you can do, compliance, regulation for different regions in the world, and provide you with the best solution for you, and not just try to shove you down, look, you must be prem, you must be cloud, because we have both solutions.
Yeah, no, that's a great point as well. Actually, you're right. It's cloud sounds great, and sometimes commercially it doesn't make sense, or from a compliance perspective, the on-prem solution's been built to support a need in region. But yeah, it needs to be looked at more holistically, and that's certainly what we're seeing as well. So I'm just going to wrap up there. And really appreciate your time coming on to speak to us. We've been working together for many years, helping our Cisco customers on their journey with contact center, and hopefully we'll continue to do that. So really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. Good talking.